Okay, here we're talking about our MD500 two-speed. MD500 two-speed is an incredible machine. It's very powerful. You can see it's got this enormous motor. It's a very powerful motor, and it's really underrated, to be honest. And this machine has a very strong magnet. And as you can see here, we have, this is the magnet switch. And it's illuminated, so when it's on, you know it's lit up, so you know you have power to the magnet. And also you have a relay type switch. And you may notice on this switch, the green on switch is lower and the red off switch is higher. So even if you don't see it, if you're in a hurry to turn off, you can find it because it's sticking out further than the other switch, right? And over here you can see that we have our coolant feed, which feeds into directly into the arbor and then feeds through the center of the cutter for ideal cutting performance, because the cutters will last much longer with a sufficient coolant. And you can see on here there's the valve, so you can, this is fully open, this is fully closed, and you can adjust to the amount you need. You don't need more, maybe you can adjust it somewhere in the middle. And of course this is also a quick release, so if you press on it, it pulls out and it pops in and it's in. And now this machine also has a two-speed gearbox, so it gives you a coverage of ideal cutting performance with large cutters for maximum performance, but you can also use smaller cutters more efficiently with higher speed. And the way this gear shift works is a little different than most, is that, you see, it pops out of its detent here, and then shift, and then pops into the other detent on the other side. And now we're in the other gear. And sometimes you have to turn a little bit to get it to go in. But this one is being nice today. And it's going in perfectly. And that's how we change our gears. And always, use the lower speed gear for the larger cutters. And here we'll just, today we'll put in a cutter so you can see how it works. It's got a conventional set screw type arbor. And you see most cutters will have two flats, and it's got the two set screws. So all you have to do is you line them up, right, and then you tighten them down, and you've got your cutter in place. And of course, there, that's secure. And then we have another one. We have both of them. Tighten them both down for nice and secure. And now our cutter is ready to go. And the pilot pin is in the center there. And so as soon as the pilot pin engages, it opens the valve and allows the coolant to go into the cutter. And this one actually, you can see it has plenty of capacity for an even longer cutter. And this can actually mount up to a 75mm long cutter for the extra long cutters for certain applications. And now we'll take a minute and we'll show you a little bit more about the machine on the other side. We can also mount with this adapter, and we can mount a 16mm chuck here. And it just mounts like that. And it can be a little bit tedious. But first I'll remove the cutter again. And then we want to fine tune this adjustment. Normally what we want to do is we want to make sure it's perfectly aligned. I get a little bit of tap. And it's often a good idea to run it. With it running, you very carefully finally snug down these bolts so you make sure there's no binding in the arbors of our bracket, so we get a perfect alignment between the motor head and the arbors of our bracket. So be very careful when you're doing the final tightening on these, and make sure you're avoiding any binding in it. And another important adjustment we need to make, turn the machine around, is when we adjust the gibs. Right, when we adjust our gibs, we supply with our kit, we got an 8mm combination wrench, and we got a 2.5mm L-hex wrench. And what we got to do is we want to adjust each of these gibs while you're running through the range motion. So for example, we're going to adjust this one. What I'll do is this and then that. And you want to make these adjustments as you go through. So make it just snug, not tight, just so it's not loose. Take up all the play. Make sure we're good here, and then we tighten it. Make sure we're not over tightened. There, that's good. Make sure it's good. Like so. Just double check it. Yeah, it feels good. And of course, we also have to take a look at our safety features. This is very important whenever you're drilling, is you make sure you have the safety chip guard in place. And it comes with these wing nut screws, and just screw them in there. It's really easy. Side. And this also will allow you to raise it if you need to. And keep you there. And we've also got our safety chain. Very, very important to keep the thing, if it ever comes loose, you don't want it to go flying. So you just run this through the handle, and attach it to the workpiece or anything secure so you don't lose it. And then you run around the workpiece and then you just clip it in place.